Hello and welcome.
You're listening to Sisgetagrip,
where we aim to bring you different perspectives pertaining to
relationships,
careers,
lifestyles,
and so much more.
We're certainly not perfect.
Definitely not.
We know life as a woman is hard.
Keeping a grip on our responsibilities without losing our minds, even harder. But what's a good story without a touch of imperfection?
Stay tuned.
Grab your tea
or wine.
Kick up your legs.
Lose the bra.
And take off your wig. And together, let's learn to
get a grip. With your hosts,
Gifty Aiden
and Stacy Estiedu. Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in today to Sis Get a Grip. We are so grateful for you tuning in today for our third episode.
Can you believe it? This is our third episode.
I cannot even believe
third
it.
Third experience.
Oh, like we made it to our third experience. Wow. I'm excited for what we got installed today. I'm excited for you guys out there that's just been supporting us, interacting with our stuff, reposting. We appreciate it all and we don't take it for granted. If you haven't already been listening to us, we are Sis Get a Grip, and we just, you can read more about us. Follow us on our IG, our YouTube page, our Spotify,
yes, and Google Podcasts.
We're fancy. Where else we at, sis?
Anchor.
Yes.
Anchor.
Yeah, that's all I can think about. There's other platform, but if you really want to follow us on our Instagram, because that's where we put up all our latest feeds, what we're doing, how we interact with our fans, and yeah, exciting stuff. So if you're new to us, welcome. And if you're old, thank you for joining us again. And we're gonna get right into it. Okay, so today's experience, we're gonna be talking about else and all. So we've all heard when somebody's like, you gotta hold this L, and basically how we're defining L in this scenario is L as a loss, L as a failure, L as, you didn't accomplish what you were trying to accomplish. So you just you took an L, basically. And how we arrived at this topic, I'm actually going to switch it over to Gifty. She's going to tell you exactly how she did it because she's our guru behind the topics.
Not at all.
Yes, she is. She's a topic star.
Not even. So, how we came about this topic is I was getting an avocado treatment. I am a natural hair girl, so Stacey was giving me an avocado treatment for my hair. And we were just talking about things that we've done in the past, more so like career goals per se, and we were both saying oh man, before I used to be able to do this, but now I can't, I don't know where the vim is, what happened. And then in the midst of the conversation, we both arrived at the conclusion that the before we were referring to also referred to a different point in our lifetime, but also because we referred to a different point in our lifetime, we were able to accomplish those things. So then we came to the conclusion that we can check those things off our list because they have been done.
Yep. And
as a result of them being done is why we're able to say we've accomplished those goals already. So Stacey's now going to give us a personal story about herself.
Before I get to that, you got to explain to our African American and other viewers what Vim is, because
So I low-key don't know how to explain Vim.
Vim. Now I gotta think hard. Now Vim is just Vim,
Mommy, Vim. You give me Vim.
Vim
doesn't even flow right in English,
dude.
Vibe, no?
Yeah, Vim will be like a vibe.
Oh, or you know what? When you mean energy.
Yes, that would be like that. Energy would be like
energy.
Like you're just not feeling it. So what she's saying is that she just wasn't feeling it.
Yes. Thanks for pointing that out, Steve.
Yes. So my example was actually, I had all these plans for myself, and I always seem to have these plans for myself. And part of those plans was, one, to lose weight. That's always been my goal.
I think that's every female's goal.
I really think so, but it's been my goal. You don't understand. Like every New Year's resolution, I write 10 pounds, and whatever I plan to lose, I actually gain. Like at this point, I just need to give it up. But 10 years ago, I planned to lose weight. I wanted to finish school with a degree with practically anything. I started off as a nursing student, ended up with psychology. Don't ask me how. I wanted to get a job. I wanted to get married. I wanted to have children. And I wanted to start a YouTube channel. So for this example, I'm going to be focusing more on the YouTube channel because when I initially wanted to start the YouTube channel about 10 years ago, I started it because I wanted to kind of teach college students how to do hair. So I was like, I didn't have money. I was gonna say I was being cheap, but no, I just couldn't afford to do my hair. So
I think there's many of us in college.
Yeah, like the starving college student who, like, you know, still trying to look cute. That was me, and I was like, you know, I did my own hair, I made my own wigs, and I was like, I'm sure there's other college students going through this, so why don't I just, you know, make YouTube channels. Make YouTube videos to show other people how they can basically do their hair for little to no cost and still look cute. And that was my motive behind my YouTube channel. And also, there was an additional bonus. I used to get like every month or so. Before YouTube became what it is now, I used to get like $100 every month.
That's amazing.
For a college student,
that's like work study money when you're
I'm saying, right? I was content with that. So I had motive, I had drive, and I would spend like hours at a time recording and editing to put together videos to put on my YouTube channel. So fast forward, now I'm still a little big. I didn't lose no weight. I'm still trying to lose weight.
Don't judge me. Like me trying to look like.
Oh my gosh! Stop.
The irony of life.
This is another story for a different podcast, but I won't even get into that so much. So I'm still a little big. I'm still trying to lose weight. So I've on and off accomplished that. I do have a degree in anything psychology. I do have a career in social services. I have a flourishing marriage. I don't have children yet.
She has Harper.
Yes, I do. She's my goddaughter. She's here today. We didn't get to feature her. And I definitely didn't continue my YouTube channel. So I remember when I was doing the avocado treatment, which if you guys want, we could share the recipe one day.
Yes, it's amazing.
Yes.
My hair texture, like, I think changed.
I think you guys will enjoy it. We'll share it with y'all, sis. It's like secrets. We'll share little tips here and there. But to get back on track, I didn't have a YouTube channel. So when I was doing her hair, I was like, man, like, I felt like I kept trying to ride that wave of, like, you know, having a YouTube channel. After I got married, I got like a backdrop, I got new lights, and I'm like, I have a studio in my house, and I'm like, I'm gonna do this YouTube thing. But then I realized that there was a shift in how I was thinking. I went from being a college student who had drive to now being, you know, at a place where I could, one, afford to do my hair, two, $100 was, you know, like there's other ways to make $100 than just put hours at a time editing and filming a video, or like it didn't make sense. So like the time and effort ratio didn't make sense to, you know, filming. So I don't.
Time and effort ratio. I like that.
I don't even know where that came from, girl.
That's really good because it's like your time and effort wasn't equivalent to the $100 you're making.
Yes.
So you could use that time and effort towards something else that would give you a greater gain.
Yes.
Time and effort ratio. Give it up to Stace. Like,
round of applause. If we had one of those things on our thing, we'll hit. That's applause. But basically, when I was doing hair, I was telling her, like, man, like, I failed at not having a YouTube channel. And she was like, sis, you could just check that off your list because you said you wanted to accomplish it, and you did accomplish it, and you did it for a very long time. Like, it was successful when I was doing it. So it kind of had me thinking. I was like, wow, like sometimes we beat ourselves up because we're like, that thing that I said I wanted to do, I didn't get to do it, or I'm still not doing it, so therefore I failed. I took a L. And she was just encouraging me that day, and it meant so much because in that moment I realized that I did do it when I had the right motives for it. And actually when I was thinking about this, I was saying, I think David was like, Lord, search my heart and search my motives.
Wow.
And it's just sometimes we just have to search, like when we reach a goal that we're trying to go towards, we need to kind of search our hearts and we need to search our motives, because sometimes the motive that for what we're trying to do is lost. Like in my example, like I was no longer a college student, I no longer had that much time on my hands, and I just
the incentive wasn't
the motive was like completely gone, and I was still trying to, like, maybe what could have been successful would have been thinking about something like a different motive. Like, let's say if I wanted to reach a different, like,
target
maybe
audience.
Then that would probably work. But with that motive, I wasn't able to accomplish what I was trying to accomplish. But maybe another time with another motive, I probably could. But the whole point was to give myself the credit and kind of say, you know, Stacy, you said you wanted to do a YouTube channel, you did do it, therefore you were successful. Instead of being like, I don't have a YouTube channel now, so I failed at the goal. It's not failure at all. It's just a different time and place.
So this is so interesting because I think like a few days ago we were back at Stacy and Jeff's house, my husband and I and Harper, and I think I have this thing where I have to get a manicure and pedicure like bi-weekly, like it's faithful.
And her nails always look nice. You gotta share that gem too.
Oh, she's amazing. But faithfully, I have to get a mani-pedi every 2 weeks. Like, that's just my self-care. And my husband made a comment like, this year you can't. And I caught a temper tantrum. And I was just like, but why? And he said, when you were in college, you used to do it yourself.
Oh.
And I was just like, well, when I was in college, I didn't have no money. You know, like, my motivation was different, but also my time was spent differently.
Definitely.
Now, when I go get a mani and pedi, it's literally like gifty time. Even before like Harper came, it was still gifty time, because back in college, like, it was gifty time because I couldn't afford to have
You made your time.
I made it for myself, but now it's more like, if I can help someone cater to me for at least 2 hours a day, twice a month, like, I'm gonna take it. Like, the motivation for me is self-care. Back in the day, the motivation for me was I couldn't afford it, so what can I do to make myself happy in that moment? It was the same like treatment. It was still like a manicure, pedicure, but now I do that at different levels. So that's interesting, because I just thought of that when he said there was a shift. You know, like, and I think it goes to show that when you're getting older, you kind of, not older, because I think anyone can hit this peak at any stage in your life, but
talk about it. It's
when
true.
you become mature, because even though you're older, it doesn't necessarily mean you're mature.
That is definitely true.
So when you become mature, your priorities change, how you look at things change, your definitions of success change. Your definition of success change. So then we begin to gauge those things differently, and I think that's where the whole idea is like a loss comes in. When I was younger, if I took a L, it was probably because I didn't do well on the test. Now, if I take a L because of an exam, I'm just be like, all right, I tried it. Because I think the idea of taking a loss has such a negative connotation to it that sometimes you feel that you failed. And then when you failed, it just like, it's so negative. But then there's a quote that says like, fail early, succeed sooner, something along those lines. Like, it's better to fail, so you can use those lessons in your failure to help you do better in the future. So yeah, it's funny because that just Stacey saying the word shift prompted that in my head.
Ooh, like, that is good. Give me some, give me some, give me some, give me some.
That prompted that in my head. That's very interesting.
And let's take a moment to even dissect failure, right? Like, failure is like, it's a slap in the face. Like, I can almost define it as that. Like, you put your all into something and it's just like, bam, like you couldn't do it. And it's like, you felt you went for something that you felt like you could, and then you weren't able to. It's tough. It's hard, and it's a hard like state of mind to be in, because you didn't go in with the idea that you will fail. You went in with, you were optimistic, you were hopeful, you were I was very excited about my YouTube channel. And then to like kind of like for it to come to an abrupt end, it was like hard, but it goes back to like even checking the motive behind it. Yeah. Did you actually fail, or is it that there has been a shift in how you're thinking about it?
Yeah, it makes me think of ICEP. So back in the day, like when I was in grad school, I still have this vision that I want to accomplish. So I want to have my own education consulting firm. And when I was in grad school, I had the idea or the vim, the energy.
There it goes again.
The energy to say, like, I'm going to take this leap of faith and do a pilot for this consulting firm. Now, the truth of the matter is, my responsibilities back then was just solely to be a student.
Do y'all see her genius showing, by the way? I just wanted to point that out.
Not really.
Yes, you are. Stop.
Luckily, I've had parents who say, like, when you're in school, nothing else matters. And for me, that meant, like, I didn't have to work. Granted, I still worked, but I wasn't doing, like, a 9 to 5. Right. I had, like, work study. But because I wasn't doing a 9 to 5, because I had that support from my family, I was able to take that leap of faith and do ICEP. Now, ever since I did ICEP, everyone has been like, oh, when are you doing this program again? When are you doing this program again? And that question puts a fear in me, right? Because that means it was something I was able to do, which means I'm capable of doing it again, but for some reason I haven't. And that's where the idea of like checking something off of your list is also fine. Because in that moment, I was able to do ICEP because I didn't have a 9 to 5.
True.
I didn't pay rent. Granted, I don't pay rent now either, now that I'm saying it, but like the things that I was responsible for was different, and the things that I'm responsible for now is also different. Yeah. So it goes back to the time ratio, right? What is my time worth to me now? So granted, ICEP is gonna happen. Like, I'm gonna have my own education consulting
from
firm.
Your lips to God's ears.
Amen. I'm gonna definitely have my own education consulting firm, but the time ratio to money, the time ratio to my family, the time ratio to the relationship I have, the time ratio to God, like those are all things that I now think consciously about. Stacey's giving me vibe faces.
Hey, it's a vibe. We vibing. Continue, girl.
Like, those are all things I now have to think about before I do anything. So though for me, that question, when people say, Gifty, when are you doing ICEP, for me, it automatically goes like, dang, I took a L in this. Like, this was a loss. But the honest truth is, the amount of data I collected within that summer of ICEP, I can use that to write a new dissertation if I wanted to.
Oh, you spitting words out here, 'cause I don't know what a dissertation is.
No, but like it's like your final grad school paper that you do a presentation for. But like the amount of data I collected from just that summer, I know for a fact that in the future, I'm going to be able to use it again. So it's now like a partial goal that I've accomplished. I'm definitely going to check it off my list.
For sure.
Because I've done it. In that moment, I was able to accomplish it. And I've also told myself, like, oh, I'm going to be able to accomplish this again, just not at this particular time. And I think that's what we're trying to get at, where you can have so many things on where you define as your invisible list of goals.
Right.
But the truth of the matter is, it's okay to check something off when you've tried.
Yeah.
And even if you failed at it, like, failure doesn't have to be so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to sound so heavy. No, that is really, really good. And even like the skill set that you take out the first thing that you tried can always help you with something else. Because in my example with the YouTube, I mentioned to you last time that it's basically every skill that I have, I've been able to put it into Sisgetagrip.
Yes,
I actually put together, I was telling you at work, where I put together a video to capture like kids in the community. Like I'm still using these tools that I've learned in various ways, whether it's for fun, leisure, whatever. Like I'm still like using those skills. So it was a lesson that I learned, and I took it in that moment for what it's worth, and then I moved on. So even talking about it now, because it did feel like when I was talking to her when I was doing her avocado treatment, I felt like, man, like I really messed up. Like I really could have been going. I really could have kept it going. But truth of the matter is, it's it's kind of done. So give myself a pat on the back, and move on. Yes,
give yourself a gold sticker.
Right there. My niece would give me a sticker quickly. She's like a sticker person.
Like, you've definitely accomplished it. And I think like we want our listeners to also understand that in addition to not being so hard on yourself, also have the understanding that it's okay to partially accomplish something. I know like usually we say when you've accomplished something, you've accomplished it in a whole, but in reality you can really accomplish something partially and then come back to it later and work on it. And that's what now this conversation has prompted me to do. Like, I'm gonna come back to ISEP because at this particular moment in my life, that's not what I'm really concentrating on. The vision is still there. Right. If anything, all the experiences I'm getting is gonna execute my vision. It's gonna make the execution of my vision even better.
Yeah. And who cares if you go back to it? Like, you'll go back stronger.
Yeah. So with that said, we are going to hit the reset.
I got it on it this time. I be forgetting we gonna say reset.
We're gonna hit the reset button, and just to recap that, so the topic that we're discussing is called the L's and all. Yes. And when we say L's, we're referring to the lost. So the slang phrase, "Oh, you took a L," like "Oh, you took a lost," and we're trying to get to the point that in every loss there is a lesson to be learned.
That's right.
So as we reset, that's for anyone who just tuned in midway. As we reset, we're just gonna give like a few things as to how you can regroup when you've hit that L, like when you've had a loss, and also remember that there's a lesson learned. So the first one we're going to just mention is don't beat yourself up, about unaccomplished goals, because I was listening to like a devotion this morning, and the pastor said you have one life, and every bit of it, every issue that arises in your life, it's small compared to your life.
Wow.
You know, like,
you didn't share with me?
I'll send it to you after. Sorry.
Okay. All right. It was good.
Yeah, he said that like your life is bigger than the small issues you face in life. So yeah, don't beat yourself up about unaccomplished goals, because the truth of the matter is your life, you have a life to accomplish those things. Do not let what you see other people do at a particular point in their life affect how you will go about something. The second one is knowing when to take a lesson out of the loss. Like knowing when you have quote unquote failed at something, but look back, reflect, and know that, man, in my quote unquote failure, these are things I've learned. Right. There's like when some women say, I gave my all in a relationship. I'm glad you gave your all in the relationship, because in your next one, whatever didn't work in that relationship you gave your all in, you'll be able to use those lessons learned, and then make this possible new relationship better than what it was before. So Stacey's gonna hit us with the last two.
So next on the list is prayer. So I know some people just bypass this, but prayer works, y'all. Like, we probably for another podcast could tell you some of the testimonies that we have for ourselves from our sisters, from our focus groups. Like, prayers actually work. So when you find yourself at that place of, not knowing what to do with yourself, just, if you don't know whether to kind of resist or persist, you're not sure if where this goal is going, if your motives have changed, because sometimes you don't even know. But our advice, and we did say we're not experts.
We're not experts.
Okay, so our advice. Thank you.
We're not experts.
Our advice.
We're not experts.
Yes, at all. But our advice is that pray, and prayer doesn't have to be like aggressive. Like, just say something to God. Like, God, I really am at a crossroads. I honestly don't know. Show me, and it'll be people around you, it'll be things around you, and He'll begin to make paths clear for you, and you'll find He'll have you doing an avocado treatment, and then you'll find your answers there. Like, things will start to line up. So just when in doubt, pray. And our last one is follow through and give yourself a fighting chance. So if you have a goal, don't just say nope. You heard what Sisgetagrip said. Just let it go. This is a lesson. No, if you don't give it your all, maybe you have failed.
That's true.
You have to give it your all. You have to give it your best. You have to go at it hard. I mean, like, you have to put in the time. You have to put in the effort. And if after all of that, revisit the motive. But don't say, like, this is what I want to do, and kind of cross your legs and expect it to go through, because then that's not how that works either. You want to kind of put in the work and know, like, get to the end goal knowing that you gave it your all, tried your best. In our examples, my YouTube channel and with ICEP, we didn't just say we were going to do these things and just sat back like, okay, you do your things. There was like sleepless nights. They were like,
I took out a whole credit card loan.
Woo! Listen, we could talk about it. Like, things, we were really invested in what we were doing, but then we got to a point where there was a shift in our, everyday lives, there where the family dynamics changed. And for me, like, I was no longer in school, so things shifted that caused us to, hit a roadblock. But you have to give it your all, and you have to give yourself a fighting chance. And if after all of that, then maybe there is a lesson to be learned in the L.
And I think Stacey just hit on something that I want to reiterate. Motives. Like, do not let your motives be what you see other people doing. Because when you begin to struggle, that means you have just hit a wall that somebody else hit and they have overcome.
Yes.
But because it was you were following somebody else's motive, now you can't get over that wall. Is what I'm saying?
No, it makes sense, because it's like you use somebody's motive as your drive. Yeah. So like when that person is maybe no longer there, or like something happens that you can't decipher because you're not that person, you can't get over the hump.
Yeah, that just popped in my head because the word motive like has been really hitting me, like motive and shift. And I think like don't let what you see other people motivate you to do something. There's a difference between motivated by others in a good way, in the sense that like, oh, this person motivates me to go to the gym. Right. This person motivates me to wear this makeup. I don't know. Right? But there's a difference between like, oh, I seen this person do it, so I'm just gonna do it that same exact way. That's, in my opinion at least, I don't think that's good, because
you don't have no drive.
Yeah, it's like you're letting somebody else drive you, when in reality, God, like, should be the one that's driving you. Yes. God's purpose should be what's motivating you. Yeah. But that's just my 2 cents for that last one.
No, that is really good, but we are definitely gonna dive into that. We're definitely gonna dive into that. I think that's deep, and now that I'm thinking about it, I think that's a whole topic on itself.
What motivates you?
Yes.
Look out for that one.
Yes. Till next time. So without further ado, we might have overdid it today, but thank you for tuning in, and until next time, don't forget to tune in to
Sis, get a grip.